Hi everyone, welcome to Draw What I Want, a channel where I learn how to draw and I share my experience with you all. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. In today's video, I'm going to be challenging myself to draw, let's have a look. So I will be challenging myself to draw musical notes. So this is going to be I think I'm going to split this challenge in two parts. So this is going to be the first part where I'm literally just going to be drawing the picture, so the musical notes. And then the second part will be the coloring bit. So please do join both of the parts just to see the final version. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing well. Once again, thank you so much for joining. If you are learning to draw as well, please feel free to follow along or just enjoy watching the video. So the reason why I've selected to draw musical notes, which might be a little bit random, is basically I was going through the pictures just to get inspiration, what to draw. So I was looking through the Color Oasis app. This is the coloring app that I use. That I use to, for inspiration for my challenges and just to kind of relax and just to do some coloring in. So I was going through the pictures and I came across two pictures that I kind of was drawn to. So it was the musical notes, but also the butterfly. And the reason why for today's challenge, or for this challenge, I've selected the musical notes is... Gosh, again, I do apologize. It's really loud outside. I'm sitting right by the window, so yeah, I don't know what is going on. But yeah, so it kind of just drew my attention. I like music, and I also kind of thought that it might be quite straightforward to draw, not so difficult as a beginner artist. So do remember that this is a beginner artist challenge. So yeah, I don't know, when I looked at it, it just drew my attention and it kind of made me feel a bit of joy. So, okay, and then the next time I might do the butterfly. But for the time being, let's focus on this. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so as always, I've got my sketchbook that I've been using since I've started my drawing journey. I've got my pencil here, the sharpener, the eraser, and then the picture. Okay. So I'm gonna use this side. And then I've got my plain piece of paper here, just so that I can lean on if I need to, not to smudge anything. Okay, so what shall I start with? Let's have a think. And again, apologies for all the reflections. I've kind of tried to play around to see if there is a way of getting around it, but I couldn't find it, so I do apologize. But I'm just going to be using this picture as a reference. So we've got the key, the note, and then this note. So I'm just kind of thinking, how am I going to fit it on this page? So I'll probably do the key here, then the other note here, and then the double one here. So I'll start with the key then. And just to guys, just to let you know, so my main thing is just to use this picture as inspiration. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. I'm just challenging myself to see what I can do. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's go. All right, so I'll just do that. I find the most challenging part is to measure how to know how big or small to draw something without using a ruler. So this is actually, okay, so I think we might do that there. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just drawing the lines around the key, just to kind of give me the shape of the object. And then I can do the internal bits. So have a look. So basically I just went around like that. And it's interesting as well, when you look at the picture, oh, that's interesting. I didn't mean to do that. But when you look at the images, they look really, really furry. And that's another reason why I was kind of drawn to this picture as well, because in one of the previous lessons, that I was doing, there was a lesson to draw objects. Bear with me 1 second, I just want to show you what I'm referring to. If I can find it, gosh, it must have been a while ago. Bear with me. I just want to show you what I'm referencing to. Yeah, so it was over here. Basically, there was one, I can't even find it anymore, I don't know where there was. But there was one lesson where we were taught how to draw like textures on a sphere. I just want to show you, which is why this, there it was, look. So we were learning how to draw textures, and one was furry, the other one was like spiky, and then the other one was like a cotton ball. Which is why when I saw this picture, I kind of thought, oh, this would be kind of good to practice doing those textures. Right, okay, so we've done the outside bit. Let's have a look how we do the okay, so we're just gonna go round because it's like a double line. So we'll do that. So that's that, and then we'll just do that. I'm thinking maybe we'll just erase that because there isn't enough room to do this. So what I'll do is I'm gonna do it like this. So we'll do that, and then we're going round. That's better. Going round. And then that meets here. That's that. Okay, so what do we have next? So you know what? I think this is actually a little bit incorrect over here. Because this one and this one, they almost need to be at the same level. So, okay, let's correct it. So, wait, I'm getting confused now. I think this one needs to be done a little bit smaller. I think what happens is, so maybe it's fine. Let's just leave that. So, okay, so next we'll just do this one. I feel like because there is so much going on in that key picture that my eyes are kind of like jumping all over. So let's just focus on one thing at a time. So that's that. That's that. And then over here, right. But it's okay, you know, because I can always, so yeah, those two things, they need to be together. Yeah, maybe it's because the measuring something doesn't work right. Let's have a look. So if we'll just do that. I think I'm gonna have to start all over. 1 sec. Let me just try and do it again. So. And then we've got that one. So let's take this as a practice session. So that's that. And then before we move on to the bottom bit, let's just do this one, look. So this one needs to match, almost like that. Yeah. I think that's where I've made the mistake. That one and that one. So that's a bigger one, that's a smaller one. And then they meet there. Okay. And now look. So this is basically the tail of it. Like that, and then this one meets here. Okay, I'll use this space to do the proper one. So let's take this just as a practice. Right, and then, so we've got, okay, so let's do those double ones. Let's just do those double ones. Yeah. Now we'll need a little bit more room here. Oh, that's fine. So it's just, okay. See the difference? I'll just show you where we're at. Okay, and now let's do the internal bit. So now we've got this one, and then there's another one. Let's go like that. So, okay, so let's have a look. Let me just see what's going on there. This is quite confusing. Yeah, I think this is the skill of the perception. You know how you perceive things when you're drawing. I think there is a book that you can buy that teaches you how to do that. So maybe once I've done my book where I'm learning how to draw with a Marquise line, I think once I've finished that, I will have a look what's the best next book to get to develop my learning journey as a beginner artist. So I think it might be the perception book. Right, look, so we've got that. And then what's happening after? So, okay, so that's that. These ones are going... Wait. Let's just remember where we're at. Right. So there needs to be like a hook. Right, okay, it's going like that. And then there is another one. Like that. And then we've got that other one there like that. So it's a double one. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand what is going on here. So we've got that. So it needs to be, okay, so there's a few more lines there. I'm so confused, guys. Bear with. So we've got that. So I just want to show you what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is to draw this bit. And it's really confusing me. So let's begin with this. So that. So it needs to be on the inside. Right, let me just, I want to start again. Right, guys, be patient with me, please, or with yourself. This is a challenge. It's the first time we're doing this, or the first time I'm doing this, so it's obviously shows how at first glance something can look straightforward and easy, and then the minute you're drawing it, it's challenging. So this is really, really great. So I'm just trying to see what's the best way to draw this thing to make it easier for ourselves. Maybe let's start with this. Right, so this is the outer line, look. The outer line. Just keep the eyes on it. So this is the outer line. Right, so this is the outer line. Now we're going on the inside. Follow the internal line. Right, follow the internal line, internal one. Right, yeah. I think it's like this. Yes. I think it's like this. We've done it. Yes, we've done it, guys. Well done to everybody who is following along. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. That's why we're here, because we are learning. Okay, so we've done that. This bit is fine. I think this one is fine. You know what I really, really want to do? I do want to color this one a little bit, just to give me an idea if we've done it correctly. Bear with me. I'm back. I just wanted to get some colored pencils. And listen, I know that the whole plan was like to break it down into two separate parts. One is doing the object, second one is coloring in. But, you know, because we are learning, we don't know what's going to happen. So we're kind of just going with the flow, and we're doing what feels right, because it's not about following rules. It's about following what feels right in the moment. So, okay, and I think the challenge here was because there were so many different lines going on, and because it's black and white, and the lines there as well, it's just getting really, really confusing which line is which. So the reason why I want to color it in a little bit, because I want to make sure that the technique that we've just applied is the right one, and that when we start doing maybe like the proper one, the official one, we know that it's gonna look correctly. But, you know, I think the key one here is gonna be the most challenging. I think the other two is gonna be pretty straightforward. So once we've kind of cracked this one, the other ones should be fairly straightforward. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my paper here. So I'm just going to do it very, very quickly, subtly, just to, you know, just to kind of separate the borders, I guess. Just a little bit, just to see how it stands out. So we're doing that. So that's the main key, the music key. So, okay, we're going like that. But guys, do let me know in the comments if you were drawing this picture, right, as a beginner artist, which part would you have chosen to draw first? Would you go for the key, or would you choose something else, like the stars maybe, or the other musical notes? I guess the reason why I chose the key, it wasn't because I thought, oh, it's gonna be the most difficult one to draw, or the easiest one to draw. I was kind of thinking more about the size of it, how much of the paper it was gonna take. And because it's the biggest one, that's why I did it, because I was gonna draw the biggest one, and then the notes, I was gonna do smaller ones obviously next to it. So it was mainly due to that. But right, so that's that. Well, I'm just gonna, yeah. So the one's darker one. I just want to see that when it's colored in a little bit, does it look like a musical key? Right, and then we'll do this one's a different color quick, so that we can see the thingy stand out. Is this gonna be a darker one? Yeah. Because then what we want is we want for the see-through bits behind the key kind of left white, so that we can see clearly that it's the musical key. And I think once I've colored it in, I'll be able to see where I want to make improvements. Right. Maybe I should call this challenge just challenging myself to draw a musical key, not the whole picture. Right, that's that. And then this one's... Because making it all look fairy is just on another level. It just shows how early on, you know, I'm on my learning journey. Because you look at the picture and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I wanna draw this, that, and the other. You're kind of like jumping ahead of yourself. And then the minute you start actually drawing something, you're realizing how much more you have to learn. Even this, like, even the simplest thing that you might think that it's simple. To your eyes, it's simple, but then, as I say, to your hands, it's not that easy at all. Right, almost there. I mean, look, we're already half an hour in, and all I've done is I've done this, that I don't even know what it is, and then I've done this kind of a musical key, but just out of shape, maybe. But at least we got the technique right in the end. So that's that. And then we can go through it together before I finish the video. because I don't tend to do videos longer than half an hour now, because I've realized that this is my energy capacity drawing for the time being. So yeah, I wouldn't want to start a new thing. So here we are. Look, let's compare it then. Right, so we've got the top. Just want to show you. So we've got the top, the round here. Got those bits there. I think that, listen, this was so challenging when it was black and white. So we've done that. And then, yeah, we've got this tail here. And then we've got that one. So this is where I've made a mistake last time. The first time is because these two were supposed to be the same kind of level. It's just this left one is a lot bigger than this right one. And then we've got the tail. So it's a good thing I've actually stopped myself continuing doing this, and I realized, no, I just need to start a new one. So actually this was perfect in the end, using this page and then just drawing two of them. So as I say, guys, from my personal experience as a beginner artist, when I'm learning to draw something, don't worry about the rules. Just just go with the flow. Just do whatever feels right. Forget what you've done before. For example, if you've been following any patterns, for example, forget about that. Just be in the moment, be in the present moment, and just do what feels right in this particular moment, because every picture is different. And then, yeah, so we've got this tail here. So obviously when I'm doing it next time, this thing will need to be, I'd say this thing would need to be somewhere here, so that this one would start around here, because at the moment it just looks a bit fat. Right? Everything else kind of looks alright. So I would probably say this one would go like this, make it a little bit in, and then this one would start around here and then go like this. But yeah, so this one would need to be around here. And then we've got to remember that this is kind of like level. Interesting. So this is actually all in like one line, right? So if you're drawing, you could make measurements to say, okay, this should all be in one line. This should all be in one line. Because if you haven't seen my previous videos, if you have, where I'm learning how to draw things, like for example, advanced houses, we already know a rule where you kind of following parallel lines to use as reference. So that's one technique. So I guess this technique could be used here as well. So like that. But yeah, so I think, I would want to continue, but I think if I'm gonna continue, it's just gonna take me another half an hour and I won't be enjoying it anymore. But I'm looking forward to it. I think this is a really great challenge, guys. And if you are learning, beginning to draw, learning to draw, beginner artist, if you haven't drawn anything like this before, I would highly encourage you. It's a really, really great way to challenge yourself, to challenge your eyes as well. But I'm really excited about continuing this challenge. So drawing the actual notes as well. So maybe I'll do the notes next time, something like that. And then finally a picture. But I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for your patience. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed this video, and if this video, if you've kind of found this video useful and helpful in any way, please maybe consider liking it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. It would be really, really great. So, build a community of beginner artists where we can share, our experiences, tips, advice, and just to kind of learn together. It would be really, really great. But once again, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next part. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.